Hey guys, we finally got hold of the not so new now Nokia Lumia 630, and we're gonna start with what's in the box here quickly. So you see it's a fairly compact box and it's kind of a departure from the earlier budget Lumia devices. Earlier budget Lumia devices, you would see those compact boxes, and this is more kind of a flat, box, slightly bigger. But you have your usual informations like it says the colors and stuff, and then behind you would see the pricing and all. So the pricing has changed a lot, but not much. You'll see the MRP here somewhere would be about 11,999, but then you'd get it on Amazon.in for 10,700. You'd get it for Amazon.com for about $180, and on Amazon.co.uk for about 100, and about 130 or 119 pounds, something like that. We have the white model here. You also get a you see all the colors here: green, orange, yellow, white and black. Those are the content that you would get inside the box, which meaning the phone, a battery, charger and the manual. No USB cable, and that's what it is. So first of all, that's the phone. We'll come back to the phone just in a bit. You have the 1830 mAh battery here, a long one, and then the manual quick start guide, and then you have your round 3-pin wall charger. It should have a micro USB port on the other hand. Where is the end? Okay, there is. So that's micro USB 2.0. So no USB cable, guys, much to our disappointment. So those are the mere content of the packet. The Lumia 630 is an all plastic phone, plus you have this LCD screen capacitive one. It's plastic, but like all Nokia Lumia phones and Asha phones, is quite rugged and it feels great, mainly because of this side. You see it's very boat shaped, so you have the back slightly smaller than the front, so the back, sides are just slanting up like this. Now this gives a great hold on the phone because your palms rest on these slants perfectly, and even pressing the buttons also perfect because your fingers don't need to curl, go that extra curl to give it on a flat or that kind of. So it's very convenient that way. The back flap also is quite tough, a usual feature for most of the Nokia phones. So you have your 4.5-inch capacitive screen. It's protected by Gorilla Glass 3. You do not have any secondary camera. You have your earpiece here. Your shortcut keys would be on the screen. Nothing much on the left side. Micro USB 2.0 port, power button, volume rocker, 3.5mm jack. Behind you have the 5MP autofocus camera, but there is no LED light. So it has a sensor size of 1/4 inch. However, low light photography is gonna be a problem, mainly because of the absence of the LED light and Nokia branding and all that. A very small speaker grill out there, see, and you can also see the back is actually subjected to wear and tear. We've been using this phone for about a month and a half now, but it's gonna get some wear and tear if you use it moderately to heavily. It comes out pretty quickly, and then you have your 1830 mAh battery here, 2 micro SIM card slots and a micro SD card that supports up to 128 GB of external storage. And you can see this padding here. This gives a nice cushion to the battery here. Overall, we like the hold of the phone. Even the construction of the phone, it's quite rugged, but then we just wish the back flap did not come out this easily. So spec wise, this guy is powered by a Snapdragon 400 chipset. It's an age old chipset, 1.2 gig Cortex A7 CPU and Adreno 305 GPU. It has 512 MB of RAM, 8 GB of internal storage, and the micro SD card can go up to another 128 GB. 1830 mAh battery that I told you, 5MP autofocus camera, no secondary camera. This guy records at 720p. You have all the usual connectivity options, but not the high-end ones like NFC and other stuffs. Now, the 4.5-inch capacitive screen is not exactly sensational. It has a resolution of 480 by 854 pixels, which comes down to about 218 ppi of color density, which is well, decent for a 4.5-inch screen, really. And it also helps by these solid backgrounds on the icon stuff, so that even if you look at it from a microscopic level, you would see the icons pixelated, but not as much as you would see on in case of icons which are like more solid, which has more colors and stuff. This is solid background and white icons, so you would not see it pixelated much, but they actually pixelate. Now, to give you a sense of how the photos look like on the display, this one, you see the saturation and hue are proper, very nice, and you have a pretty decent viewing angle, really. Overall, I like the color renditions, see, even here it's good. It's overall decent color rendition. We're gonna see some other pictures, like for example this red sea is not very overboard. In a lot of cases we see, in case of red here, smearing out, but then not in this case. So pretty decent display for a budget phone, really. Now, biggest thing about the Lumia 630 is Windows Phone 8.1. so with 8.1, it brings in a lot of new features. Some of my favorites are mainly you'll be able to save your apps onto HD. You have Cortana, although it's not here, it's only available in some market. You also have some quick functions, and then some of the other features that when they're on Windows Phone 8. You also can now edit your lifestyles. For example, you can make them smaller, bigger. That's also a feature of Windows 8.1. However, you have the pretty familiar lifestyle here, and you can of course now resize them. You could always move them around here, and then the moment you go here, you would see all the apps listed. Long press on home button pretty much does not do anything. Long press here will take you to the recent app menu. Just pressing here would take you to Bing, usual, and there you have 4 connection settings now. Your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, camera, and this. There are only space for only 4, and then you have all these notifications, a hell lot of those. Let's go to the settings first. You have very usual Windows settings, your lock screens, and you can set your background to black or white, or you can make them all colorful and everything. I'm just trying to see about phone here, and there you see Windows 8.1. yeah, all this other you have now a Wi-Fi sense, you have storage sense, you have data sense, and some of the sense meaning you can basically keep a tab of how you spend or how you use these those respective things. So you're gonna take a look at few of the important things here. For example, have a look at the camera first. It's a pretty okay camera actually for a 5MP camera, and I'm going to show the samples, but before that, you see it takes about 1.5 seconds to click a photo, really, and then you can go into burst mode. Clicking, that's the number. So let's see till when it goes. We'll just keep on clicking. Good. Nice. Cool. Did actually click 100 pictures in batches, really. Yeah, I think this was the one which has those 100 pixels. That's why it's taking so much time to process all the burst results. You see all these. There's 100 pictures. The really good thing about the camera was that the buffer was really high, and we did not have to wait at all before it processed those 100 pics. That is really cool. And then you also can start recording. However, you cannot take still while recording a video. You have some Nokia lenses, Nokia camera and Glam Me, which kind of enhances your face more, like by reducing the detail. And then your photo settings, video settings and all this. So the image and video quality are decent under enough light, but they don't have much detail at 100%, so they are definitely not printable, but they can be uploaded to social media sites. It's more than good enough for that. Under low light, they show some noise and lack of detail, mainly because of the small sensor size plus the absence of the LED light. So at least if you want to take photos, parties and all, where it's okay about the detail, but you at least want the face to come, right? So you at least need a LED flash. So that should have been there at this price point at least. The music app actually has a pretty usual UI. Let's go ahead and check out some of the songs and sound output. There's a full volume here. So first thing first, very nice and loud and with decent bass sound output via speaker. Yeah, so one of the superior quality music output via speakers that we've seen. You can see that's the photos, and your photos and videos are arranged stack by stack, and that's album favorites and all albums and everything. So you can simply go here, camera roll. Here you can edit the photos by all these apps, and then you can favorite it and then do some other stuff. So you can set it as a wallpaper and all also there. The camera roll, let's go back, and this here, see, it also syncs with Facebook and your OneDrive. Amazing speaker output, amazing. You'll almost hear everything clearly, even in a crowded place, like on a metro program. Very are good. The surround sound is very good.
From the universe? From the messenger. Oh, yeah, of course. Our greatest masters are
Crisp, nice display there, no discoloration, no fuzziness, very nice voice output, surround sound is proper. Amazing speaker output, really. Absolutely one of the best, top class. Yeah, so that's user interface. So nothing much to talk about in Windows really, because it's a pretty closed ecosystem. You cannot customize it much. So you have these live tiles and these. It's quite smooth mainly, despite of the only 512 MB RAM, but when you have a lot of apps and have a lot of background apps running, then it starts to lag at times. We also tried playing some game, and it's nothing different to what we've already seen. And let's show you the dialer. That's dialer again, very usual dialer there. There you see, nice big keyboard, supports swiping as well. Yeah, so once I go there, probably so So it's gonna learn. Wired is not a very common word. This is pretty cool. We can also start typing, you know. See, not bad. So overall, the user interface is smooth and it actually performs well within its limits. So even the hardware, so overall the phone is decent. We just feel that the price is slightly on the higher side, mainly because it has Windows 8.1 and probably Microsoft or Nokia wanted to take advantage of a new OS version there. Nothing special really on the phone apart from Windows 8.1. There are a lot of competitions here, and at 10,000 or at 10,500, that range you'd get some pretty good Android phones. And I think for now, with this phone, Windows Phone 8.1 would still be the third most preferred OS for mobile phones. Yeah, thank you.